You love your idols, yes, but you are probably also worsening their mental struggles due to the phenomenon called paradox of popularity.
I was lost.
From non-stop comparing themselves to groupmates to wanting to end life every day, this is what even top idols like BTS, tough persona like Jessi, and even the trainee that just stepped into the industry like Beomhan feels every day. But trust me, at the end of the video, you'll leave feeling hopeful and optimistic because insiders confirm something about the industry has changed. So, let's start with BTS and how the comparison culture is embedded in their DNA, despite their reaching the peak of success. Did you catch that moment at the 2018 Mama Awards? V, right in the middle of their victory, when Jin mentioned the word disbandment, tears streamed down his face. That scene stuck with me, you know? Because here's V, with all the fame, money, and his supportive group mates, went through it all, so why did he have to cry over spilt milk? Later, V opens up on a show called Sachuita with Suga. He's laughing, joking, but then the conversation takes a turn and he shares this weight he's been carrying. Turns out, even with all those awards, V was battling some serious burnout. And it's not just the schedule that's tough, it's this feeling of always comparing himself to others, even his own bandmates.
무대를 할 때 내 옆에 있는 멤버들을 보면은 참 즐거웠고 참 막 잘하고 완벽한데 나만 왜 이러지? 라는 생각을 되게 많이 했었던 것 같아요. 그래서 그 상대적으로 그런 번아웃이 좀 심했죠. 부정적이고 힘든 마음이 너무 가득해서 난 너무 지금 이 상태로는 아무것도 안 될 것 같은데 진짜 쉴 수는 없을까? 방법을 계속 생각하다가 아무런 방법이 떠오르지 않아서.
In particular, he said he'd watch the others perform flawlessly, enjoying the stage, and he'd be there wondering, why can't I feel like that? Why am I the only one struggling? Despite knowing they're all worn out. But this isn't just V's narrative, it's a melody that resonates across the group. Take Jungkook, the one you'd think would have the weight of the world on his shoulders, yet often wears his heart on his sleeve, for example. Most recently, he apologized for what he thought was a less than perfect live performance, but the thing is, most people didn't even spot a mistake. Yet, to him, it was a misstep that echoed louder than the cheers of the crowd. It shows, right? The comparison game that BTS plays is heavily embedded in their nature, even when no one is watching or when they are performing solo. Now, let's talk about J-Hope, the group's ray of light whose energy on stage could power up a city. Behind that brilliance, there's a level of self-criticism that could dim even the brightest star. Imagine how exhausted he was that despite the constant efforts to look happy, he eventually broke down admitting, I'm not okay. And surprisingly, this comparison culture isn't practiced only by idols active in the industry, but also by trainees who are still working behind the scenes. Enter Beomhan, a trainee friend with Boys Planet contestant Jae Chang, whose name you might not know yet, but whose experience sheds light on the darker corners of this glittering world.
I had an attempt, I think in July. It was like either July or August, I think. Look. I've been going live with short sleeves this whole time. Do I sometimes cry for help? Yes.
He calmly opened up about his attempt to end life just around 2 months ago, his deep cuts and his mental struggles. But I noticed one really odd thing. His chill sends chills down my spine. Of course, he was positive and bubbly, mostly to not make his fans think they are responsible for his struggles. and he is fully and optimistically aware of his condition. But with such critical attempts, he obviously needs help. But even I don't know how to help him besides telling you guys about his condition. It makes you think, doesn't it? About the kind of support and understanding we owe these artists and each other. Because if there's one thing clear, it's that nobody, idol or not, should have to walk this path alone. Does success bring happiness, or does it just pile on more expectations? We chase after this idea of success, thinking it'll be the key to our happiness. But maybe, just maybe, it's also a Pandora's box of pressures, one that we're all too eager to open. We've all seen Jackson Wang of GOT7 light up the stage, right? But even a star like Jackson has opened up about his mental breakdown, the kind that builds when you're chasing hit after hit and the whole world is watching, despite being at the height of his career.
But to me at that point, I was lost. Everything felt like a loop. Every word, every people that I meet, every word that they say to me, everything was like deja vu. It was like a loop, every single day.
So everything felt the same?
Everything felt the same. And it feels like I'm doing the same shit every day. And I asked myself, is this really me? Right? I understand that because of this loop, I have this, right? But do I wanna be greedy and hold on to that? Or do I wanna be true to myself at least once in my life? Right? I might not be perfect. I'm not, I think I felt the need to be honest to my audience, and making sure that whoever they're supporting, whoever that they know of Jackson Wang, is really me.
That is also the popularity paradox. You're loved, you're celebrated, but that only suffocates you. All eyes on you, waiting for the next big thing, and you're there trying to keep a smile, to stay the course, to be that flawless image everyone expects. But here's the catch, trying to maintain that perfect facade means bottling up your true feelings. And that's a recipe for trouble, isn't it? Drinking on stage, acting vulgar with fans, eccentric makeup, and you can watch more about him here. A burst of self-expression that no one expected, because his previous image was so clean. Some might look at that and think he had changed, but really, to me, it was just how he gained back the control of his life, saying that the pressure of keeping up his image now meant nothing. But deep down, he is still a kind person. So, does success bring happiness, or does it just pile on more expectations? Well, if you think success equals happiness but haven't found one, click that subscribe button so I can bring you happiness for the time being first.
I don't know how to love myself still, so I'm happy that if you guys got it.
The popularity paradox results in the irony of self-love advocacy, and here, you will find idols who constantly preach about self-love struggle every day, criticize themselves every day, and can hardly practice what they say. Look at RM from BTS. On stage, he's a pillar of strength, but behind the scenes, he's shared his own run-ins with depression. It goes to show, no matter how wise or composed you are, mental health challenges don't discriminate. Back in 2021, when COVID-19 was still a thing, on his birthday, V-Live, he got real with fans, describing each day as a war, a constant fight not to lose to depression or exhaustion. As a person who had been used to working day by day, the monotonous routine made him feel powerless, cleaning his room, watering his plants, and exercising. Probably due to the immense pressure, he even chose to admit he wasn't doing well, just simply surviving the game. Every day is a fight.
Not bad and not good at the same time. Just a life.
The thing is, his fight seems to last until today.
I don't know how to love myself still, so I'm happy that if you guys got it.
The clip I showed you earlier is from his recent live show on Weverse back in August, and maybe he is still dealing with it today. Then there's Jessi. You know her, she's the epitome of tough, but she rarely talks about her mental struggle, until most recently. She opened up about not being able to handle her mood swings and the mental toll it's been taking on her. And get this, part of that stress came from feeling betrayed by people she thought had her back. Jessi had a rough patch last year, and it seems like it was tied up with some drama at her company. Plus, there was that mess where she got stranded during her Europe tour. Picture that. You're all set to rock the stage, and boom, you're stuck with no help from the organizer. Jessi also ended up shelling out for her own flight. On top of all of that, Jessi confessed she hadn't really rested in 4 years. She's not just talking about skipping a few naps. She means mentally resting, shutting down, finding that calm space where you can just breathe. She said she's been crying a lot, lying awake at night, stress cranked up to 100. But things are changing. But first, how much do you like this type of self-discovery content? Drop me a like so I know it's a yes. Rather than hiding away emotions, more and more idols are coming out raw, though not in a really good way, and seeking help. On an Instagram live not long ago, fans saw a different side of BB. No filters, no edits, just real, raw emotion pouring out. After talking about how her day went, she said, "Maybe I will kill myself," a chilling reflection of her fatigue. Watching her struggle to stay awake, fighting off sleep in the middle of her live, was more than a little alarming. She mentioned trying to reach her manager, hoping for a moment of respite to wipe away the makeup and catch a breath. But there was no answer. The team's instructions were clear. The makeup stays, the show goes on. And then the cracks started to show. BB, this incredible talent, just couldn't hold it in anymore. Tears broke through as she questioned the relentless demands of her industry. Why couldn't she do her interview without makeup? What was so essential about the facade that it couldn't be set aside for her well-being? It's a poignant scene that many of us can feel in our bones, the frustration when the simple things become the hardest battles. But what is all that for? Idols, similar to all of us, are humans with a family. They carry not just their dreams, but the dreams and needs of those they care about. These artists, they're not just making music. They're carrying burdens we don't see, pushing through for reasons deeper than we might realize. Like BB confessed, while it was hard, she had to keep going because she was doing this for her family, not just to make herself rich alone. So when we talk about the glitz and glamour of K-pop, let's not forget the human stories, the struggles, and the strength it takes to face each day. But here's the silver lining. Things are starting to shift. Enter Renjin. As one of a few rare Gen 4 idols openly talking about his mental struggle, to me, he is not just another idol. He's the voice that starts to turn the tide, pushing the conversation about mental health into the spotlight.
그동안 너무 힘들었었던 적이 있었거든요.
예.
근데 그때 제가 진짜 다행히 좋은 선생님을 만났어요. 제가 그림을 그리는데 미술 테라피라고 그림으로 통해서
The industry's taking notes too. Industry insiders confirm that agencies are now recognizing they've got a part to play in their artists' well-being. Schedules are agreed on with the artist, and in no way are they forced. It's a refreshing change, and it's got me thinking, to revert the popularity paradox, what should be done on our side? And let's bring it back to you. How do you keep going when every part of you is screaming for a break? Besides mental breakdown, idols also experience physical struggles that brought them down on their knees in front of thousands of fans. From idols Gen 4 to Gen 3, let's check them out here.